Welcome to the Private Practice Startup Podcast, where we help mental health professionals grow their dream practices and live a life they love. We chat with successful private practitioners, business coaches, and marketing experts, bringing you tons of practice building tips. We invite you to take advantage of our private practice paperwork and our signature marketing e-course. And we have a gift for you. This is the exact methodology we use to create our six-figure private pay practices and have helped many other therapists do the same. Go to privatepracticestartup.com and on the homepage, click the button to download a free copy of your dream private practice playbook. Now on to today's episode.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Private Practice Startup Podcast. Today, I'm here with Dr. Kim Grosher. She is one of our private practice coaches. She's amazing. Hi, Kim.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Kate. I'm glad to be here with you today.
It's so good to have you back. We've obviously had you on several episodes previously. So if you haven't heard those episodes, we'll put the links in our show notes. And Kim she's a private practice coach, private practice owner. She's amazing. And we're going to have a really fun episode today talking about how to avoid the dips in your caseload. So whether you are experiencing some seasonality in your business, the natural ebbs and flows, or maybe it's related to the recession that we are almost in, hopefully coming out of, regardless of when you're listening to this, business is always going to ebb and flow. So it's great to be able to have a good understanding of what you can do to manage the dips and to prevent the panic that can come along with that as a business owner. And before we dive in, I want to welcome everybody. If you're a loyal listener, welcome back. If you're new to Startup Nation, we're so excited to have you here. Katie and I are co-owners of the Private Practice Startup. She's not on the podcast with us here today, but she's with us in spirit. And we have a gift for you. As therapists in private practice, you need to assure that your paperwork is up to par with all of the legal and ethical requirements. And as of January 2022, there was a new regulation for medical professionals. And yes, as therapists, we're included as well. It's the No Surprises Act. No worries, don't panic. We've got you covered. We're actually going to gift you our Good Faith Estimate bundle. So you can head on over to our website at privatepracticestartup.com. You'll see it under the resources tab, and you can take advantage of that there. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor.
We've had a long-term partnership with today's podcast sponsors. If you haven't heard of WiseHire before, they're on a mission to make finding great talent easier for you. In fact, we've hired our own social media manager on WiseHire, and she's amazing, and we loved the experience. In our line of work, we know that the hiring process can be overwhelming, frustrating, and disappointing at times. We like WiseHire because they give us the tools to handle the hard parts of hiring, like writing job ads, posting to job boards, and keeping track of all of those candidates in one convenient dashboard. And we love their DISC behavioral assessment. It helps us go beyond the resume and identify traits you're looking for in your ideal candidate. Plus, they won't break the bank. Whether you're hiring your first admin or expanding your private practice team, WiseHire will help you feel more confident as you navigate the world of entrepreneurship. They've made 2 custom job ad templates just for private practice startup listeners, and you'll get a lifetime discount of 10% off. At $179 a month, this is a rate you can't beat. If you're thinking about growing your practice, make sure you go to their discount link at wisehire.com/PPS. That's Wise, W-I-Z as in zebra, hire.com/PPS as in private practice startup.
And we hope that you actually joined us last week as well. Katie and I co-hosted with Dave Frank, who is a financial planner who specializes in working specifically with therapists in private practice. Dave was such a passionate speaker, and I don't know about you, but finances can kind of put me to sleep sometimes, but this guy was super passionate and very knowledgeable. So we talked all about financial planning for your private practice. In the 300 plus episodes, it's actually a topic we have not talked about yet. So definitely check that out. And I think it's time to just dive into today's topic. So Kim, yes. Let's dive in. How to avoid the dips in your caseload. What do you think we should start with on this topic?
Well, I think the first thing we should start with is normalizing. That's what we do all the time as therapists for our clients. So we need to do it for ourselves as well. Normalizing that this is a part of running a business. This is a part of running any business. And that, like you said when we started, ebbs and flows are going to happen. And it's not about why is this happening? It's about how do I manage this when this happens?
Yeah, I think the mindset piece in business is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, you're right, because therapists, we do this all day long with our clients. We help them with mindset stuff. We could do it in our sleep, right? But when we flip that mirror around, and business often puts the mirror right in front of our face, and we can see our shortcomings. And whether it's something like imposter syndrome or scarcity mindset, and when your caseload starts to dip, you start to panic. Oh my God, how am I going to afford my bills? And how am I going to, it can instantly send you on that spiral. So being able to work on the mindset stuff is so, so important.
Very important. I know I have a few close colleagues of mine that when we have our slumps and things, we meet up regularly and we talk about business and we talk about cases. And so that's something that we often talk about. And so we're there to normalize for each other. So, this is where having like good colleagues, a good network really comes in handy to help you challenge those negative thoughts, right? To help you say, nope, this is normal. We've been here before. Remember this, remember that. Oh, yes. And so you're not just trying to do it yourself, but also surrounding yourself with people that are going to help you with that mindset, that are going to support you around, yes, this is a part of business and this will pass. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is so important to have that support, whether it's from colleagues or whether it's from a mentor or a coach, to be able to help you understand the seasonalities that can come with business, or for different reasons where your caseload may ebb or flow. Depending on what population you work with, you might have dips in the summertime. If you work with young kids and families and they're traveling a lot, or for the holidays, they might have their kids home, might find it hard to prioritize therapy during those points in time. Or you might work with other populations, like people who struggle with eating disorders, and during the holidays, they, have so much that comes up, or trauma survivors and family events trigger a lot of that type of stuff. So depending on what your caseload is, it's good to get familiar with the ebbs and flows that happen with your business, the seasonality that happens. And sometimes life can throw challenges, unexpected things like a pandemic or a recession. And being able to know your business and have a good working relationship where you're just not just working in your business, seeing clients, but you also prioritize the time to work on your business, allows you to get familiar with how to kind of expect some of the times where you may have a dip. And then you can be more strategic with whether it's the marketing that you're doing, or maybe you decide to embrace the dips and you start using that time to really invest in yourself. Maybe there's trainings that you want to take that's going to hone your skill set and continue to allow you to invest in yourself so that you can really become that expert in a certain area. Maybe you want to become EMDR certified, and that's always been a goal of yours, or Gottman certified. You work with couples, or whatever it is that your passion is, being able to continue to hone that niche and use that downtime. Kim, what do you like to use your downtime for in your own practice?
So I use that downtime to take vacations, plan to spend time with family and friends who maybe live out of state. I also like to use that time to revamp my website. If there's anything that a new training I've done, or some other skill I've acquired, or maybe I'm honing again, who am I looking again at who I'm serving? Am I adding in a new aspect of a population that I work with, right? Or is there something that I want to focus on more in this upcoming season in my business that I hadn't really focused on before, such as for me, like my coaching, right? My coaching, I've been focusing more on my coaching practice and my coaching work more so than my therapy over the last summer, right? I used that slump this year to kind of focus and move in that direction a little more. So that's how I tend to use the slumps, the downtimes.
An opportunity to really evaluate and make those pivots so that you're really in alignment with how you want your business to look at this stage of life. And that evolves at different points in time. So it is really great to be able to embrace those times for that. I also try and be strategic in my own practice in terms of when I take vacations and being able to embrace some of the ebbs and flows. And when your caseload is completely full and things are rocking and rolling and that pipeline is flowing and you've got, a lot going on, it's really hard to work on important aspects of the business, like your systems and the numbers and all of those things. So I really want to reiterate the importance of prioritizing time to really work on the business. Even if you have a full caseload, it's important to continue to focus on your marketing efforts and keeping the pipeline full and being able to just be more strategic with how you manage things when things do ebb and flow. And another aspect that we talk a lot about at the Private Practice Startup is making sure that you are on top of the finances, because there's a great resource. If you haven't already read Mike Michalowicz's book, Profit First, it's an amazing, amazing resource. And
it's a game changer.
It is. It really is a game changer. It allows you to really have different bank accounts so that you can better manage and prepare for ebbs and flow in your businesses or emergencies that might come up, a pandemic. We've lived that, right, over the past few years. And it can really help you to be able to be more prepared for tax time and all of that stuff. So definitely check that out. We've had Mike on the podcast, I think 3 times, and he's written some amazing books. So we'll put the link for the episode for Profit First, and that will allow you to be able to coast during times where it ebbs and flows, and it might be a little bit lower than your than you were hoping for one reason or another, and you'll have the reserves in your account to be able to carry you through. So you won't worry about, can I afford my lifestyle? Can I afford to pay my bills? You won't go into that place of panicking.
Right. It's one thing to be nervous, which naturally is going to happen and is okay, right? And we've talked a little bit about working with your mindset, getting support around that. But it's another thing to panic, because when we panic, then we tend to go to the other side and maybe start thinking about, well, maybe I need to close my business. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not good at this. And that's not what this is saying at all. It's saying that this is something that happens and there are ways that you can prepare for it. As you were talking, Kate, I was thinking that I was like, it really is a time to pause and reset, press the reset button, which is good to do from time to time in business and in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So really using that downtime wisely. And so really taking that step back and really thinking about how can I make the best use of this downtime? What is my business needing? What is my life needing? Am I in alignment with that? And if you're not, being able to reevaluate and pivot to make sure that this business that you have is one that you love, that you enjoy, that you are working with the clients that you are called to serve. And if you're not, and your business is not working for you in that way, then it's time to make some changes, right? And there's a lot of amazing support out there to be able to help you really hone that niche and make sure that you're attracting the type of ideal clients that you're really called to serve and working with that business that just lights you up and it works for whatever stage of life that you're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think another area that's really important to talk about when trying to manage potential dips that happen. And this is something that's so easy to do, that it's right at your fingertips and it's free. And it's really focused on the relationship building and networking that you can do. So it's great to start with your inner circle first and think about, and Katie and I talk a lot about Pareto's rule, and it's where the top 20% of your referral sources drive 80% of your business. So if you can identify that top 20% and look at who is referring the most business to me, and really try to focus on nurturing those relationships, giving back to those relationships, supporting those relationships, and connecting with them. So it's really connecting and collaborating and making sure that you have that mutually beneficial relationship. So if you can identify who those key players are who are already referring to you and focus on those, And then you can also focus on expanding that a bit and thinking about who in your inner circle of people that you're already connected to. Maybe it's a pediatrician or a psychiatrist or an attorney or your dentist or your hairdresser, those types of people that you're already connected to. Who shares your ideal client? That would be a great referral source that you haven't connected with. And how can you intentionally connect with them? Kim, what do you want to add on the topic?
Just everything you said, I agree with. And me personally, relationship building is so important to me and is such a big part of the work that I do. And having like a supportive network of colleagues is really important. So again, not just going to people and handing out business cards and things like that we've talked about before, but really, hey, would you like to get together for coffee? Would you like to do lunch sometime? Or is there some way I could provide service to your business? Are you noticing that your employees are wanting more information about something? Like, perfect example, you said your hairdresser or your salon or your stylist, right? A lot of times people come in and totally offload on them, right? They're like informal therapists. So why not check in and say, hey, would some type of, lunch and learn or whatever you want to call it, I can come in, we can get some food for your stylist, take an hour and maybe talk about some of the things they're hearing and how do they cope with that? Is there some way that I can help serve your business and make it better for you or your employees or your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so starting with your inner circle is a great place. And there's so many different ways of going about that. It could even be with intentionally connecting with a colleague that maybe you work with adults who struggle with trauma and you have a couples therapist colleague and you don't work with couples and they don't work with individuals with trauma. It's the perfect fit for a potential really great referral relationship. So those little things that you can do that don't take a lot of time can make a huge impact in your business because all you need is a handful of really great referral sources and it can keep your pipeline completely full. So if you're not someone who is an extrovert, like I'm not an extrovert, I'm more of an introverted person. So networking makes me want to go, eek. And when I first started out in business, I thought that I had to do the big networking events. And so I would force myself to go and it would be so draining and exhausting. And then I realized, what am I doing? I don't have to do this. This is not in alignment with my natural marketing strengths. And so I learned how to do networking differently. And it's just about building relationships and connecting with people that share the same population. And you want to network with people and build those relationships with people that you actually enjoy spending time with, somebody that you could even see as a friend. And maybe they become a friend, in addition to that. So it's sometimes that one-on-one meeting can be so powerful. And sometimes private practice, when we're so busy, can be a little isolative because we're just seeing clients, and working on the business and all the other things. So to have that time where you can actually connect with someone and have fun and enjoy it and have a mutually beneficial referral relationship, it's priceless.
I so agree with you. I love networking, but I learned to love networking when I realized, again, like you said, I can do it in a way that works for me. I'm not such a big group person or wanting to go to events and talking to people. I'm more inclined to stay to myself, kind of observe, and not really connect in that way because it feels forced in those environments. Whereas if I'm sitting across from somebody and we're having coffee or tea or lunch or even taking a walk in the park, like it's really nice here in New York now. So maybe sometimes me and my colleagues will meet up at a park and go walk together, just those simple things. It adds to our relationship. And then also it's a genuine relationship, right? So when clients ask me, hey, I need somebody that does XYZ, I say, I know this person. I would refer my family member to this person. Let me give you their information. And those are the kind of referrals that you want to be giving and receiving. And that only comes through building relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so powerful. I love how you shared the story about, the walk and talk in the park and just building those genuine connections with people. It really is so powerful. So let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, and then we'll continue our conversation. If you're a business owner, the last thing you want to spend your time on is handling payroll, employee benefits, time off requests, and everything else that comes along with managing a team. Let Gusto take these tasks off your plate. Gusto offers all-in-one payroll and HR for growing businesses. From full-service payroll and benefits to team management tools and more, Gusto makes it easy for you to support your hardworking team all in one intuitive platform. Gusto is loved by both businesses and employees. For businesses, having everything in one place is a game changer. With Gusto, most customers are able to run payroll in 10 minutes or less. And Gusto helps with the hard stuff too, like filing payroll taxes, compliance, new state tax registration, and more. Employees love that Gusto's interface is modern, fresh, and extremely intuitive and organized. Whether your team is in person, remote, or a combination, with Gusto, keeping your team on track is easy. Join the more than 200,000 new and growing businesses that are using Gusto to build a great workplace for their employees. Right now, Gusto is offering our listeners 3 months for free at gusto.com/PPS, as in the private practice startup. Get easy payroll, benefits, HR, and a happier team. Go to gusto.com/PPS today. Is managing your practice stressing you out? Try Therapy Notes. It makes notes, billing, scheduling, and telehealth a whole lot easier. Check it out, and you will quickly see why Therapy Notes is the highest rated EHR on Trustpilot.com, with over 1,500 verified customer reviews and an average customer rating of 4.9 and 5 stars. You'll notice the difference from the first day you sign up for a free trial. They offer live phone support 7 days a week, so when you have questions, you can quickly reach out to someone who can help, and you're never wasting your time looking for answers. If you're coming from another EHR, then make the transition really easy. Therapy Notes will import your client's demographic data free of charge during your trial, so you can get going right away. Use the promo code PPS, as in Private Practice Startup, to get 2 free months to try out Therapy Notes for free with absolutely no strings attached. And remember, telehealth is included with every subscription, absolutely free. Make 2022 the best year yet with Therapy Notes. Okay, so I think there's another area that's kind of, when most people hear this podcast topic, they're thinking, okay, what can I do to get new clients? What can I do to keep the pipeline full? What can I do to market so new people find my business? I think it's also important to look at the nest egg that we have with our current caseload and making sure that we're doing everything we can to provide the best quality services and client care experience. So it's good to take that step back and really look at the clients who are on your caseload and think about your continuum of care for them, how they move through from initially finding you to starting to work with you to successfully ending the therapeutic relationship and really meeting their goals. So thinking about what can you do to help clients have the best possible experience there, because it's so hard to find a new client. It's a lot harder to find a new client than it is to maintain a good working relationship with your current clients. You want clients to be able to get the most from their experience working with you, to reach their goals in the shortest amount of time, the most effective, experience. You don't want them coming to you forever and ever. The whole point of coming is to really get their needs met, reach their goals, and then move on until they need it at some point in time later. But you also don't want people to drop out of counseling before they've had a chance to really reach those goals. So getting a new lead is a lot more work than it is to have your current clients to really focus on them and make sure that you're doing the best possible work for them, helping them reach their goals to the best of your abilities. And that is going to create an opportunity for the clients that you're working with, that you're doing amazing work with, that you love to serve, and they love working with you too. They leave your office and they become raving fans, and that's free marketing too. So when you do an incredible job with the clients on your current caseload, they go out and they tell their friends, somebody who's struggling with something similar, or refer a family member, or obviously not someone too close because we have our conflict of interest and ethical guidelines, but you know what I'm saying when I'm talking about this.
Absolutely. I was just thinking about how much when we talk about the business aspect of building a practice, that quality of care piece often gets left out, right? And it can be really easy to become fixated on everything business, everything marketing, when we're not sitting in front of our clients. And that's not what we're suggesting. And that, that also doesn't make for a successful business. It goes hand in hand with what you're talking about, spending time thinking about that quality of care and what you're providing to your current clients, and how you can kind of continue to improve that experience for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's it's something that's really important to think about. That obviously we want to provide best clinical care so that they have successful clinical outcomes, and then the best experience when they come in contact with us, our personalities and our brand. And when we're taking the time to really be intentional about that and really creating the type of experience, it leaves an impact on clients in a way that's very powerful. And it also helps us to continue to keep our passion alive, love what we're doing, be in alignment with our businesses and who we serve. And it all just becomes this reciprocal feedback loop that is really, really powerful. Yeah.
100%.
What have we not talked about here today, Kim, that you think would be an important thing to touch on? Anything particular come to mind?
Not at the moment. I think we said a lot. I think we talked about normalizing it. We went through the mindset piece of going into business or already being in business and understanding that having dips in your caseload or slumps in your schedule is going to be a part of the process. We talked a lot about, what you can do with that time, how to use it as a reset, I know when we were talking before we started recording, like a house, right? Like you keep your plumbing up to date, right? And so when you go on vacation or maybe you're not in the house so much, that's the time when you usually have work done, right? Because, you want to kind of do this maintenance, preventative maintenance, so that issues don't come up down the line. And it's the same thing with your business, using this time to do some preventative maintenance or care, to kind of keep things flowing, to keep that pipeline flowing. And then also looking at quality of care, using that time to really enhance the quality of care that you're providing to your current clients, in addition to thinking about ways to invite new clients in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with we looked at new clients, current clients, and even taking a look at your past clients who have stopped coming in for one reason or another. Maybe life got busy. Maybe they needed to push the pause button. Maybe they met their goals and things were going really well, and then life happened and something else is going on, and they've been meaning to call you for weeks and they just keep forgetting. And so to be able to intentionally check in with your clients and just give them a call, a personal call, and say, hey, just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you, and no pressure to call me back. And if I don't hear from you, I'll assume that everything is going really well, but I just wanted to let you know you were on my mind, and I hope all is going well with you. If you ever need anything, you can always reach out. So it's just leaving that door open and being top of mind. And sometimes just that little effort can re-engage people who have been meaning to call you, but just life gets in the way. So looking at all of those different areas of potential for new clients, your current clients, what you can do there, and then your past clients as well. And then, of course, tracking and measuring and making sure that you're keeping everything organized with referral sources and looking at your retention rates and documenting when you're re-engaging clients who have discontinued services for one reason or another, because you want to make sure that you're staying on top of all of that. And that's, the knowing the numbers and documenting. It's not the most fun thing, but it's very important. And there's ways that you can really systemize and streamline that for sure, especially if you have an EHR. Yeah. So we talked about a lot of different things here today, and we hope that you are really feeling more excited and curious and motivated to look at your business and think about, is this in alignment with where I want it to be? What can I do to tweak my business so that I can embrace the ebbs and flows and get into a better working relationship with your business so that you're not in that like absolute panic mode? And if you need additional support with that, reach out to your colleagues, mentors, coaches. Kim's amazing. And we've got all sorts of options and resources for you here at the Private Practice Startup, like our private practice marketing e-course and coaching program that we have. So definitely look into those resources and take advantage. What do you want to say, Kim?
I was going to say, definitely reach out. If this is something that interests you and you want to talk more about, definitely reach out. The consult is free. We are happy to connect and talk to anybody about the e-course and the coaching to see if it can help you and how you can maximize those downtimes or slumps. And then, like Kate said, there are a ton of other resources between the podcast, the Facebook group, going onto the website and looking at some of the past materials that have been offered. So there's a lot of support for you here, and we look forward to continuing to serve you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you all for being here today. And thank you, Kim, for co-hosting with me. It was fun.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to doing more of this.
Absolutely. So Startup Nation, we hope you enjoyed this episode today. And we want to encourage you to subscribe, rate, and review our show. Of course, share it with your fellow friends and colleagues. And we always love hearing from you. We've created over 300 episodes, and we try to curate content that really specifically meets your needs wherever you are, whether you're just getting into private practice or you're established and you're expanding into a group practice, or maybe you're adding additional products or services. Wherever you are on that continuum, we really want to be able to support you. So if there's a topic we haven't had on, or you want to be a guest or suggest someone to be a guest, definitely let us know. So we will look forward to seeing you on the next episode, everybody. And in the meantime, we hope you stay inspired. So stay tuned for next week. We have Vonique Schmidt on the topic of how to be confident when working with reactive clients. And Vonique, she goes by Vo, had talked about how to really boost your confidence when working with clients who are really angry, dysregulated, and reactive. And I know for people who struggle with conflict avoidance, like myself, that it was a very powerful topic, very, very helpful. So we will see you on the next episode. In the meantime, stay inspired, everybody. Thanks for joining us on The Private Practice Startup. Visit theprivatepracticestartup.com for awesome resources, free trainings, attorney-approved private practice paperwork, and so much more.